Hello, good evening, and welcome to yet another lockdown open mic hour. And thank you for joining. Hope you're all right. And let's see where we're going this evening. Tonight's topic and subject is going to be past lives. And what we're going to cover is basically what I started with past lives. Hello, good evening, Tash. And with the topic of past lives, it just covers so much of your inner self and what brings to the forefront of what you feel and what represents around your soul. Now, I am a very, very big believer in the past lives, that it is your soul. That's just my beliefs on that topic and subject as well, that your soul is obviously linked to your past lives. And again, I do feel that a lot of people's souls is linked by just looking into their eyes as well. That's just my personal view. Again, with people asking me so many questions over the last weeks, these topics over the last few weeks have been suggested by yourselves. So this is why we're touching on them. And to me, I think this era, I was linked around the Knights Templar through past life with myself, hence why I've done the poster there tonight, or my very good friend has drawn that poster for me as usual, and just I take my hat off to him as well for all his efforts. Good evening, Thomas. Any questions of what you're drawn to around yourselves and past lives? A lot of things that you will need to pick up on as well in and linking in and around finding out more information about your past lives will be obviously meditation, being around spiritual churches, being around groups, being around the medium or very sensitive people as well. And again, even the church as well, at some topic and subject as well, if you've got a close friend that's linked with that as well. So who have we got on? Thomas, Nikki, any questions to fire away? I've got a lot of pages written down, general information, but I will start with myself. Basically, that if I repeat myself as I'm going through, it's just that there's just so much going on sometimes as a medium. It is just amazing. With regression, it's all about being focused and can it change your perspective? Can it change your perception on life of what you're drawn to, of your feelings of what you've come across, what you've experienced in your life? Again, this will come along with your age, your wisdom. What else will it cover? It'll cover your life skills as well. And again, later on, I'll touch on things like with past life, how you're still learning in this plane of field that you're on now in this present situation of where you're up to as well. Hello, Marie. No, I'm not doing readings this evening. That was on at 7 o'clock, the reading tonight. Yes, it is on about past lives. Thomas, let's see what our Thomas has got to say there. And I'll cover things as we're going through again. So anyone wants to come on, we'll just put the link on and you can express your experiences as well and share that as well, because this is what it's all about, is letting us know what you've experienced. You're drawn to castles and towers, but you know that already. Yeah, do, Thomas. And we certainly had some experiences around the castles as well, haven't we, Thomas? I think it was Carnarvon, wasn't it? Again, we seem to get a lot of flashbacks as well, and picking up on that way is sensitive again. So a lot of people pick up on the sensitivity in and around that. Myself as well, what I do and possibly on development classes is what I always try and share is when I'm working with somebody within a development class, and I'll ask them and they'll ask me, tell me more about their past lives. And the way I usually start and focusing on is just basically getting them to relax, unwind. And yeah, you can link it with the meditation, but directly I work with around the trance and the aura as well. So I'll ask the spirit and the soul of the past lives to come even forward and come even stronger and show themselves to me. So when I'm just doing something like that in and around the session or a development class and giving that person the energy and the entity that they've been around in their past lives as well, and bringing them forward and sharing their experiences. Even though their faces and features aren't changing, the spirit and the energy of past lives are showing themselves to me as well. When I'm looking at somebody directly in and around that topic and the subject. So that's the way I work generally. Again, but the other thing I usually do as well is I like the communication side of it. So I'll ask a spirit energy from a past life that's linked with the person that's in and around me, within a circle or within a development class, to come and communicate with me as well. So sometimes I can record that, and then we'll play that back. Sometimes we can record it on like an EVP recording, or we can get one of the other team members there to just film it and then go back on the session when that person's come out of the trance state. And some people say, is it a form of hypnosis? I like to think it's more of a trance state mind, where you're relaxing and letting the spirit energies come in and around the room and working with us as well. Hello, Linda. Hello, Angelique. She's saying that. So you still bring negative stuff through as well as the positive on the experiences? Yeah, by almost you can. And this is where I feel as well that it's linked in with what you learn in this life can be shades from your past lives again. And if you're turning a corner, or you've come to a crossroads in your life and you're thinking, I'm leaving that side of it behind, that could be a turning point where you're shaking off things from the past life and turning towards the positive side of it. If you've had a weighted lower soul or a past life as well. Again, I think it's a focused attention in and around the trance state mind. People say it is the hypnosis as well. Incarnations as well. Again, I just feel it's an enhanced capacity to respond to questions and answers when you're focused and you're in the zone working spiritually. Altered state of mind. Some people can say it's an altered state of mind, state of consciousness as well. So it's like you're in the sleep state of mind, working in spiritually, looking into your mind's eye, and just working on parts of the corridors of where you work to receive. So you're bringing them corridors and opening the corridors to work and link in and around your own mind. The mind is such an amazing computer that it just holds so much information as well. So again, we're just trying to pick off the information that you're receiving. So whether that's on the day around yourself with your soul and what your soul is experiencing and expression of coming over of what it's learned in this life, and then going into a deeper state of mind where you're asking your soul to come forward and give you the information of what your soul has lived and experienced as well. So again, the imaginative role of enhancement as well. It can be heightened focus, increased response, and suggestiveness as well. So I'm not going to say that somebody said, oh, I was a milkman in a past life. If you're drawn to virtually, like in this life, waking up at 5 o'clock on the dot or 4 o'clock on the dot, like the old milkman used to come out, there's certain things that you can't break, certain habits as well. So there's certain habits and traits from past lives as well, which I'll cover. Let's go back on a few questions. Good evening, Lee. Hope you're all right. And Thomas is talking about Carnarvon Castle when we went there. And we had a lot walking around the castle that night, didn't we, Thomas, that afternoon, that day? That was fantastic experience. Spiritual experiences in psychotherapeutic type of thing. It helps repressions of memories. So you bring in certain memories forwards as well. A lot of people don't remember the first 4, 5, 6 years of the life. So some people can tap into that life and bring things forward from a young age. A lot of people don't remember what went on in school as well. So you can have a little bit of regression there of your early chapters of the days where some people don't remember the 20s. So again, it's all about being in that state of mind where you can have a meditation to work with that. So you can bring up chapters that you think, oh, I don't remember when I was 25 to 30. I don't remember a lot. And I think as you're going through the decades as well, a lot of people do forget as you're getting older, unfortunately. But again, past lives, I've had some amazing experiences in and around development nights and development classes of what people have learned about themselves. And this is where I will always say to you, go out and test yourselves with past life meditation, past life regression. And again, it's a little bit for you to do your own work if you're not in and around the medium, if you're not in and around a circle. It's all out there for you, folks. It's all about you want to reach and connecting with yourselves and connecting with what you want to learn. Make notes, try and fill the chapters in. I've got chapters from my past lives that there's gaps, so I've still got more to learn as well, which is good. And sometimes as well, what always amazed me was hypnosis and trance-like state of mind, can be used as a class of entertainment, where I think 30 years ago I might have seen Paul McKenna work, and I come out of that evening of an entertainment night and I just went, I've just seen something I've never experienced. So even seeing somebody working in that field of how they work, it just blew my mind away that night. And it takes a lot to do that, but when I actually see somebody working how they work, it is just amazing. So sometimes with past lives as well, I'd like to learn a little bit more from like Sir Paul McKenna and questions and answers for him of how he works, but everybody works in different ways as well. So spiritual experiences, again, I will reiterate, my feeling is I feel your soul is your eyes. So again, when you meet new people, you look into their eyes, you feel, oh, they've got a deeper darkness around them, or they've got a light energy around them. It all comes from your soul. That's what I'm drawn to as well. Definitely state of mind. I will say in chapters of my life, we're going to cover as we're moving forwards. Knights Templar. Just this is just mind blowing. I feel I was around, and my strongest period was around the 1100s, 1150s, that type of period, where Knights Templar, I feel, if I got the dates wrong, I do apologise, but Knights Templar is basically servants to the King and the Queen. I felt I was serving to the King and the Queen of France when I see a lot of flashbacks and stuff like that as well. But the Order of the Knights Templar and the Grand Masters, they were given land in and around France and England, London. They were just given land for their nobleness, for being noble. Obviously, Herefordshire, Essex, Kent, Warwickshire, Worcestershire, Oxford, Cornwall, Lincolnshire, Yorkshire. Again, these are all parts of where you go through the spine of England. I've tied in with a lot of locations that I've investigated, have tied into the Knights Templar, and I've had the links with the Knights Templar from like Yorkshire right down to the Midlands and stuff like that as well, Warwickshire, Worcestershire. So a lot of that is tied in where I've gone, not I felt like I've been here before, but the link and the connection has been around Knights Templars and the buildings. So why have I been drawn back to these types of locations? But again, it's around the Knights Templar. That's what I've received as a past life as well. So when I'm even out and about, I'm experiencing that moving forwards. I would also say what I've learned as well over the period is I was a scientist around 1872. It's not just about me. I'm giving you my experiences from what I've learned in and around regression and past lives. I've been told that there's a link and a key that I hold around what I've learned when I was a scientist. I don't know what that is. I'm not brilliant at science today. A lot of things go over my head, but where there's the universe and that side of it, I'm more open to what I was as a youngster to where I am now. I know so much more now in and around the scientific things as well. Around the year zero, I was around Mary Magdalene. I see flashbacks and visions of, I think she laid something at the feet of Jesus. I can't remember whether it was a rose, but a red, or whether it was a cloth. I can't remember at the top of my mind, but I just feel walking up to the likes of Jesus on the cross, but with my head down, but watching from one or two rows back as well. And again, I just feel like I was ready just to bow on my knees and pray. That's how I felt, and I get that quite a lot. I do feel that sensation. So when I feel like I need to go back to basics and purity in and around positivity, and I just get that sense of being in and around the cross. I don't see Jesus on the cross. I see the base of the cross. I see around the feet, and I get that quite a lot. So a lot of that comes through, which we'll talk about again. Has anyone had any meditations? Has anybody done meditations out there with their past lives? Has anybody experienced it? Come on, type up some questions. Let me know what you've experienced in and around past lives as well. If you experiences the churches, let me know. What also I found fantastic and mind-blowing is when I've had somebody on a development night, and we've been working in and around bringing past lives through, and we've done regression, is I'd give that person a notepad and we've done the automatic writing. I've not asked the questions. I've asked that soul, I've asked that past life to come forward and write down their information and write down what they were and when they were they male, how many lives have they had as female, how many lives have they had as a male, how many past lives have they had collectively, how many times is their soul going to live on moving forwards. And I've always been told and understood when I've been trained as well, that when your soul's learnt everything it wants to learn living on this plane, if it wants another 4 lives ahead, it will finish when it wants to finish. So it can live 5 or 6 lives ahead moving forwards. And when it says, oh, I'm done, I don't want to do anymore, it will just virtually disintegrate into the universe out there, into the realm as well. Again, it's like there's always a time and a place. So that bag of energy around your soul will just say, I'm done, I've learned, I know, I've had a good time. Basically, I've done what I've done, I've served what I've served. Right, let's see where we're going. Hello, everyone. Hello, Claire. Covered loads. So if you've missed the first 20 minutes, please go back on the first 20 minutes as well. Experience a shaman, I think it was called. Sat in the smoke and humming, feel hot. You like watching the smoke as well. Do you get drawn to the flames? Because a lot of people sense visually looking into flames as well. Sometimes candles, as I just feel someone's just come over my shoulder now. Don't know what that was. Just got something in the corner of my eye. Let's see what Claire's saying there. You've had many. Was this the witch in the woods? Yes, definitely. I've had loads of stuff like that, and basically, a witch comes forward quite a lot in and around the medicine side of it. So she would have dealt with the herbalistic side of it. So again, your old remedies. So again, a witch does come forward quite a lot with a lot of remedies, even when I'm out and about on investigations. And if somebody needs a tonic or somebody needs an uplift, I will always get this witchy spiritual energy come around that will say, please take a drink. And again, it can be a healing. It can be like I think you can go and get a tonic. So it's a bit more like a spiritual tonic. So I've had that many a time when people have needed an uplift on investigations as well. Right, Julie, you've been told you was a builder of a Golden Gate Bridge and fell off. And you've also died in the bombing in the 1920s. I'm not too sure on the dates around the 90s, not with the organisation, I mean. Again, it might have been the different types of organisations as well. So I'm not too sure when they was all formed. All right. But that type of stuff, Angelique, what you need to do is write it down. Keep a specific book for the past lives. So everything that you see, sense, and feel in and around when you're in that state of mind, write it down and see if things tie up. So on the main chapter where you've just got use a builder on the Golden Gate Bridge, when you do meditation, ask for that spirit energy around the soul of a former past life in and around the Golden Gate Bridge to come forward and give you more information. Ask for the dates that they were born, ask for dates they've left the plane, ask for middle names, ask for first names, ask for more details, so you're expanding on it. So you're expanding on what that is as well. So if you've got somebody quite spiritual in the room as well, ask them to give you information of anything that they can pick up on a past life and see if it ties in. So you're testing and working with each other as well. It's a good practice. There's no right or wrong ways. If things don't make sense, that's fine. Just run with it, go with it. And over time and period, if you keep one A4 booklet for that, and then just work with it and then see what it comes up. So leave yourself a couple of blank pages in between certain lives. Again, was you male or female in them lives? A builder, I presume you was the male. And then around what was you in the 1920s? Do you feel you was male or female? Build on it, expand on it, ask the questions. Again, it's all about pushing, and it's all about expanding your creativity in and around this topic and subject as well. And yes, around the candles and the smokes as well. Can stare at it for ages as well. But that can put you in a relaxed state of mind as well and take you deeper into your thoughts as well. And it was development night on ours and mine. Yeah, that's fine. Still got it written in the notebook, but move the chapters, open the chapters and work on it again. So we've covered the Knights Templar. I've covered also the scientist from 1872. So where I'm saying there's gaps, I've had around the period of 0, around the Christ time in the period. I've had the 1100s to the 1200s chapter. I've had the 1870s. Again, there's certain ages around the 1500s, but I can't remember everything. Sometimes you're given stuff spiritually, and if I haven't written it down, I will forget as well sometimes as well. So again, that's where it's worth doing every now and again. So if you cover past life regression once a year, that's fine. Twice a year, it's enough. Just fill them chapters in and keep working. Automatic writing is amazing for that. That is a must, I say, is try it with a pad as well while you're doing them meditations and stuff like that. Alternative lifetimes in and around the periods, ask them to come forward as well. So what you feel, write down that you've lived, your soul has lived. Write down if you feel you've been, as you say, a builder or somebody around the 1920s. Write things down prior to any meditation or regression and past life regression, and see if anything ties in as well, because your modern day state of mind might tie in as well, and that's a connection. That is a massive connection as well. Good evening, David. Please go back and watch the first 25 minutes. Covered some amazing stuff as well. Oh, right, King Owen. Now, Thomas, King Owen. Little story about King Owen, as some of you already might have known. Thomas says, was King Owen of Wales his son during an affair? No wonder why I'm a rebel, far as you can remember. King Owen of Wales is actually in Corwin. Corwin is very, very spiritual in North Wales. I was drawn spiritually to the Tower of London by King Owen, and I was given that spiritual eagle there, which I've covered on many times. But King Owen would not sign all his land over to the English. So I had to go as a spiritual person and not sign the stuff over for King Owen. But that was my journey. As soon as I got to the Tower of London, I was virtually thanked for doing that. And King Owen would not communicate with the English. King Owen didn't want nothing spiritually. So in his mind, he was not happy with signing all his land over to the English just like that. Even in when he's passed and he's moved on, he was still very, very upset that spiritually he was against doing that, signing to the English. So I was the compromiser. I was the spiritual person that put the connection with that, and then he could move on and move forwards as well. So that's very interesting, that Kingo of Wales. Thomas, thank you for that. Yeah, you can do a yearly diary. Hello, Joe. Hope you're well, young lady. Hello, Michelle. Definitely catch up. Lost Souls. Which one's this? Is this the dreaded Rachel? My friend Rachel. Do you know what? I was in a really, really cheeky mood the other night. I was a bit cheeky, so I do apologise for that, Rach. I was absolutely buzzing the other night. First 25 minutes will do. Gutted, missed it. No problem. Do your own work. It's all about that. I'll move on to some other stuff as well. Okay, that's fine. That's all good. Anything that you recall from past lives, Rach? Have you done any regression yourself? Yes, I know. Yeah. You know, when you send something and you think, I shouldn't have sent that. That was definitely one of them moments. How would you define your past life? How do you define what you've experienced? Let me know. Come on. Your past life, how can you use it now to heal? Can you heal your soul? So if you go into a meditative state and work around regression and past lives, you can work with your soul today to put wrong things right and right things wrong, and actually work out where you want a truce and a compromise within yourself to put yourself in a happier place. If you've haven't got the answers, just put full stops on it if you think it's something to do with the past life as well. So it's all about working and pushing yourself as well. But your past life, you can now work in a meditative state and doing some research on past lives around yourselves and heal yourself and heal your soul moving forward. So you can draw the line in the sand to move forwards as well from today to push yourself into a better place as well. It does work. All right. So it's like having that compromise with your soul today from things that you've had gone on in the past life. If you think things niggle you, certain people can't watch horror films, certain people can't watch battles, certain people can't watch anything if it gets physical in and around male or female. So a lot of things have gone on in past lives that might be hard to get over even in a past life, why you might not understand why it's hard to get over in this life, and you don't like certain things and you can't understand certain things as well. I'm going to safely say research your past lives, please. This is what it's about. I'm trying to pass knowledge back down to you. Also as well, ask how many past lives you've had. I know we've covered on it, but ask, write it down, and then you start getting the gaps. So if your guide says to you I've had 12 past lives, or in the meditative state, or how you feel when you've come out of it, you feel like, oh, I've just been shown this past life, but I feel there's another 3 or 4 there. So you can tie 5 in, but you might have had 12. So there might be another 7 that you need to work on. Do you know what I'm saying? It might take you 10 years. There's no rush with this. Do you know what I'm saying? It's all about enjoying it and working with it. And this is helping for your development as well. Hello, Vicky. How are you? Hope you're well, young lady. Please catch up on the first 30 minutes. Spot on, Rach. Spot on. Absolute. Couldn't have said it any better. Oh God, we have some banter. We do have that love-hate relationship, but it's all good banter. Right. Move to a certain place, the galleries of justice. And it was a ducking stool, and then my face changed, and then you threatened me. I never moved. We've had some good times, I know that. But again, the experiences, and from experiences, what do you feel sometimes if you go to a castle, you might feel uneasy, you might go to a prison and feel uneasy, you might have experienced things. Again, I will always safely say from past lives that you're not happy with in this plane, but you don't know any why that is. This is could be possibly linked with past lives as well. I do feel there's about 5 or 6 spirit energies just trying to bounce in through me on my facial features as well, but I'm just holding them back. Well, based on the witch in the woods giving out tonics, you realised you had your own tonic. That's fine. So basically, what Claire's saying is, spiritually, she was asked to take a spiritual healing drink from spirit. She took it. She felt better, hopefully, to help her move forwards. You can't do bridges or stone circles. You push yourself to do bridges because you have to cross them. That's excellent, but that will have a link and a connection for that. Again, we touched weeks ago, myself and Linda, where we'd done about the superstitions. It's little things like that that do add up, and it does connect. It does make sense at some point as well. And again, the fears are coming through. So there's things with the snakes. I don't mind watching the lions and the alligators and all that on telly, but the snakes myself, I'm not scared of snakes, but I don't like them. But I'm not scared of them, and it's just like if like a snake in the kitchen, I don't mean I'd walk away. What I'd be just doing is just like, got no time, I'll just turn over basically. But I can watch wildlife programs all day long. But when it comes to the snakes, I'm just like, nah, what's the point? I just don't see the point. That's just myself. But again, there must be some type of link and connection with that. You know, someone that's who's just like this, and they was told that he was killed by a Roman soldier who forced him to build the bridge. Again, if they've turned around and refused, or they've been slow and they've been tortured, or they've been stoned, or anything like that, in and around that, anytime that you do developments, or you're in that state of mind where you're trying to bring forward the spirit energy, the soul of a past life, you will get the ailment, you will get the ailments, you will get the aches, the pains. Again, a lot of people are quite sensitive if they've been struck to the eye, or they've been run through with a sword, and again, the impalement of this, it's all so important about writing stuff down as well. I felt like I couldn't move my elbow. You might have not had no arm, your hand might have been cut off, anything. Again, I'll cover a few more pages on this as well, and I know time's flying, but please keep adding your comments, because it all helps as well. Creepy dolls, China dolls, and horses freak you out. Work on that, Tash. Do a meditation, clear your mind, ask your team to show you why you don't like them scenarios in today's playing, because again, to me, that will be linked to things in the past life. Again, Thomas, look at the experience we had in the Jamaican Inn, virtually face-to-face, camera going, flying off. Yeah, basically, when we was in the Jamaican Inn, and we was in the attic, basically, and there was a very weighted energy there, and I could see conflict, I could see a head in the basket, I could see a head being kicked around outside, basically beheaded, and the crowd just throwing this head around, basically. But the confrontation of the two males was so strong again, and even in filming, the camera flew off again. So that's an experience where we bring through the souls of the trance-light state of that spirit energy telling their stories. Again, so that's just the trance state mind of it as well, but that wasn't linked with anything to do with my past lives, but the spirit energies are telling their times and telling their stories. It's just amazing as well. How many past lives do you think you've had? Let me know. Do you worry about what you could have been in a past life? Do you know what I mean? Is anything linked with do people feel comfortable male or female today? Do you feel you was again, we touched on it before, do you feel you was more female in a past life? Do you feel you was more male in a past life? Again, do you worry about anything from your past lives as well? Ask yourself, see where you're going as you're moving forwards. you figure you was done for witchcraft, so usually you are held to your rights, and usually a lot of witchcraft and people being known as witches don't survive a lot, do they? So have a little meditation into that and just see if they can show you visually of things for your past lives around the witchcraft days, and see if you get a date. That'd be very interesting. I think around the 1500s onwards to about the 1800s with the witchcraft was the period around a lot was treated wrong. So places you're drawn to, places you feel very weary around. One is Leeds Museum. We've been there a few times. Leeds Museum, I think, the Factory Museum, I think that was a science museum, wasn't it? Intrigues you, but very wary for some reason. I think that was the eyes. Used to do a lot of eye experiments there. I think they used to do that as well. Which past life? Just take that off. Which past life would you like to learn more about if you've had any experiences? Which past life would you like to learn about within yourself? So I am again very strong with the Knights Templar. The scientist, I don't really know a lot around when there was a scientist, possibly, but past lives, I think I'd like to know more of the gaps that I've got dating back to the year zero, basically. So if you think my soul has been around 2,000 years, it's a long time, but it's not a long time within the realm of the plane, is it? So again, the time that my soul's been around is 2,000 years, but it's not a long time realistically, is it? But again, but which life would you like to know about more, and connect within your past lives? Excuse me. So I know I've talked a bit anyway. Some places definitely, yeah, here we go. Touched on this before, Dennis. Can going into a hypnotic state help conquer? Yes, definitely, most definitely. We touched on Paul McKenna before. A lot of people do the hypnosis for conquering fears. And again, to me, past life fears. People mention snakes, other things that they're scared of as well. I can't really virtually hurt any type of creature or animal. Now, my perspective has totally changed the last 12 years, but definitely hypnosis can help your fears. There's amazing mediums out there that do work with this, and there is courses on there. But I would safely say you can overconquer and you can overcome your state of mind of any fears today. If you put your mindset to it, the power of the mind, I would take yourself back in and around somebody that does it, or in and around a circle. But to help you with, set your targets with the intentions within the universe. Excuse me, if some people have horrors and keep seeing dreams or flashbacks, ask your team not to show you them anymore and show you something different to tie in. So you say, thank you very much, I've received that, but show me something from a past life that will help me connect in why I feared with that. I always remember as a youngster watching Ben-Hur. I don't know what it was around Ben-Hur, but when he got the people to go up on top of the slide and just take their own lives and slide down it onto the guillotine at the bottom, that was like, that stood out for me. And I'm like, the treacherous side of it, and I was like, ooh, hang on. And I just seemed to back away, even hiding in the corner of the sofa. I was like, oh, hang on, that's a bit strong. So even at that time in that period, there was something around watching that type of film as well. So again, it's like, have I been tortured in a past life? Maybe I need to go around to them dates and go into the hypnotic state and work towards it, or the trance-like state that I use, and work with that as well, and then ask them to show. It's all about asking the questions. You'll be surprised how much comes forward and how much your fears will go as well. Ask your guide to help you with your fears today. You'll be surprised. So skipping over and see what else other questions we've got. So where we said connect with your past lives, you can connect through your Akashic records. So there's meditations out for that. I'm going to type it up because obviously I'm dyslexic, so I might pronounce it wrong. These are like your history of your life records within your soul, within the universe. So all the life that you've done, you can do meditations on this. All right. So you can try them and they show you your periods, and this will tie in with your past lives as well. So it's all around your soul's library book of lives, and that can tie in with your history as you're moving forwards as well. Definitely, Linda, try. 2 seconds. Just going back up, sorry, just lost where I was up to. Okay. Right, okay. Yeah, there was a hanging up there, Thomas, wasn't there? Going into a person really wanted to learn about Edinburgh Castle as well. One you're drawn to. Again, it's work on it. You need to walk up to it virtually. With Edinburgh Castle, I touched on this a week back or a few weeks back, is they would be spared if they could make it from virtually the top of the castle down to the tower at the bottom. And I think they used to say a saying, and then they'd be pardoned. So they wouldn't be tried then. So if they got within this tower at the bottom, I think it's on the left-hand side, and I talked to you a few weeks about that building, and it will tie in for you, Claire, and it's just tied in, if you remember when you posted it, and I said that'll have a link and a connection moving forwards as well, and that's what it was. From the top of Edinburgh Castle, if you run down the bottom of the street, say it's a mile, something like that, from top to bottom, if you got to the tower at the bottom before they got you, you got into the building, you'd be let off. So I can't remember the word, but it's definitely like a pardon. But please check up on your Akashic records, because that ties in a lot with your past lives as well. Being bumped in the head, I'm not sure. I've had somebody on this side before, which is on the right hand side, but I've just seen a shadow, and there was a big massive flash of light outside my kitchen window. There was a big massive flash of light when that happened, big power of light going across the back there, and it's definitely not thunder and lightning. So I'll try and work with that later. No problem, Dennis, you're always welcome anytime for you, young man. Another person is afraid of horses. You think how mad it is. You can't bear being near them. As a youngster, a very good friend of mine was bitten on the shoulder. They had an apple, went to give the horse the apple and got bit on the shoulder. And that was an experience. But I'm not keen on horses myself. Again, I'm not afraid of a lot of animals. But I just think they are very intimidating as well, a horse as well. And I feel that they can definitely feel your fear. They can definitely sense that you're uneasy as well. There's a lot of connections there spiritually with the horses. I helped you with the spiders at Drakelow. You couldn't handle any, but now the small ones you can deal with. You putting aside. It's crazy. But ask your team and say, I'd like to connect. I'd like to have no fears at all with. And this is what I'm saying, Tash, about little things that you can work on little and often, and they build up, and you'd be surprised how far people have come over the years as well with certain things like that. You'd like to do hypnosis to get rid of your fears. Yeah, definitely making tea is one of them, Linda. It can become too strong sometimes. Yeah, definitely. You can't figure it out. But you shouldn't have that. You shouldn't have that. Don't know who that is. Yeah, the theatre soldiers, Linda, Dennis says. Definitely has that, yeah. So definitely try that out. Work with the meditation in and around that. We're getting down the bottom here now, and I'll scroll down. Definitely your sea legs, Linda. She had an experience around 3 or 4 sailors. Desperately want to go under with your cake addiction. If you watched Jumanji 2 and visualize that, then Rach, when he's got a phobia and that's one of his weaknesses. But again, work with it. Go try a meditation. Work with it. Ask for your guides and your team to say, you know, I'd like to just every now and again not have as much cake, basically, but put it out there. Work with it as well. If you don't work with it, you'll be surprised. But your team spiritually can help you work with all that, your fears, your hypnotic state, and work with your fears, but do it in the meditation state where you're relaxed, you feel brilliant, you feel good. They're the days that you want to be doing this, is where you really feel upbeat. Do you know what I mean? Excellent. That's fantastic. You'd like to learn more about Kingo, well, we'll do that. Even if we, to be honest, I need to visit Tower London again, so I definitely need to get the train down. Whittingham Castle, Warwick Castle. Many past lives, Thomas. How many lives do you feel you've had? How many times do you feel you've had that sensations are coming through as well? Work with it, Claire, definitely. Again, do you feel as well, as you're doing a past life regression and as you're learning about your past lives, is it a parallel life? It could be a parallel life as well. Some people look at it as a portal to another universe, a portal to another life. Could you influence your current life now? And this is what I'm saying. You can influence your life now by doing this as well. Why are you how you are now? What have you learned from the past lives? Do you believe that you are who you are now because of what you've learned in that past life as well? These are questions and all bullet points that we've covered tonight that you can ask yourself prior to this. You can write a list down prior to going into meditation. You can write a list down before you do your past lives. Again, you'll be amazed. And I know we're on 50 minutes as well already. Janice, you feel drawn to Egypt? We were touching a little bit of this before. I see a lot around the Ben-Hur films type of thing, and I get drawn to certain clips and scenarios of I've been there before. I've seen a little bit of this. Dolls are always creepy inside the churches, makes you freeze, and the graveyards, you're fine. Again, a lot of people do feel very uneasy when they go inside a church. It's not because they're not pure or they've not got the beliefs and that they're quite comfortable with religion. It's just I feel the airiness sometimes of a church. If you go into a cold church, it's totally different than walking into a warm one. And I know that is the hot and the cold temperature. But what I'm saying is, if you go into a church and it's cold, there is a very, very airy feeling to it. If you go into a church and it's warm, it is more welcoming, isn't it, as well? So again, sometimes that can play on the placebo in and around that type of scenario, Janice. So again, work with that. If you go into a cold church, just feel like it's still warming and see what you feel then as well. So the mindset, work with your mindset prior to walking into a building. All right, so if it's hot or cold inside, prior to walking into it, set your mindset, see what you work with as you're going forward. It's all about learning and training and working with yourselves and pushing yourselves. When you work spiritually, we don't know anything virtually at day one, but as you move 10, 15 years ahead, when you look back, you think, oh, I understand that a little bit more now. So in 10 years' time, when you look back at this, it'll help you tie into where you are in 5 years' time, 3 years' time. And this is all we're trying to do: is self-build your confidence, self-push yourself, self-give yourself the homework to do what's best for you. Yeah, I'm very happy of where I am at the moment. I couldn't be in a better place. Another one as well, there's about, I'd say, 15 things that will link you that you have had a past life. So I will put this link on later on to the end of the page. Old familiar feelings. So when you're at certain places, old familiar feelings, again, like sort of, if you're in a hospital, you might feel really comfortable in a hospital. A lot of people don't like hospitals, stuff like that. You might have been a doctor, you might have been a nurse, but again, it's all about seeing where you're up to as well, with what you like and what you don't like. So that'll help you working on your past lives. All right. So again, this is an amazing one, and I must have stopped myself from saying this word at least 20 times tonight. Your dreams. All right. So what I'm going to say is, with your dreams, you can have recurring dreams. Your dreams can be so realistic, again, that you feel that you're there. I mean, Janice touched on Egypt. The number of times I've had the dreams about Egypt, and it's like you're there. That is also a sign of past lives. So when you're getting your dreams where you're actually there, or familiar feelings, these are signs that you've got past lives. All right. These are all connections. Do you think you have fully explored all your own past lives, and do you think there's more to learn in regression? Yeah, Thomas, definitely more. I've got so many gaps between like the 500s and 1000, the year 1000. So there's gaps there. Maybe up to about the 600 to the 1000. Okay. And again, I'd say about maybe 1300s. I think there's about 600 or 700 years there. 0 to 500s, there's massive gaps there. And prior to 0 date, as my soul lived prior to that. So there's about 4 or 5 chapters there. So say out of 2,000 years, I'd say there's 5, 6, maybe 6, 7, 800 years to cover still. About 700 years, I think there's gaps of where I feel comfortable that I've been in around them times and periods as well. But great question, that, Thomas. So that was Thomas's question. Yeah, definitely. That was about 2 months ago, I think I'm right, Claire, on the Edinburgh picture. She's terrified of horses. Horses can open doors. Clever question. Should be afraid, very afraid, especially when they're hungry. Stomping around, perhaps trampling in the past life. It could be as well. I think when we went to Village Mansfield, we had a spirit through that was showing their past life as well. So I could see a spirit energy telling me about this life, and it was also telling me about the prior life. When I was at the Village Mansfield out on the street, there was somebody had come off a cart, off the back the seat of the horse on the cart, and it fell under the wheel as well. So little things like that sometimes, but that's all. That spirit energy can tell me about the past lives as well. It's like they will always, sometimes they'll say, excuse me, mister, this is who I am in spirit, but I've also had this experience in the past life, basically, of I was also a girl as well, and then I was a little boy, and stuff like that as well. So sometimes spirit can bombard you when they connect with you, and they can give you so much information. And I always say it is mind-blowing as well. See where we're going. Sorry, meant to type your rate change books. black mark underneath. Yeah, coming through as well. Yeah, I've had quite a very thick tash, and I've just had a shave as well, which I always safely say. 11 past lives for Thomas. Safe number. Work on the others, Thomas. Left temple, sharp pain, movement to the eye too. Is that the person that's around me? One stone step when you was watching a live. Don't think Portal, think it was 1600s. Churches, very relaxing. Okay, let's go down to, again, so I'll give you a few tips on what connects you with things that you have had in a past life as well. You was, if you was like an A-star student at history, that always has a thing with past lives as well, where you can recall certain things in history that you don't know where this information is coming from, but you already know it as well. And you just don't know why, but it rolls off the tongue as well. And also as well, a lot of people don't understand that if you've got a soulmate, this is also links with past lives as well. So if you feel you're in connection now in a relationship in and around your soulmate, this is also a link with past lives as well. Out there as well, you can go on the internet. There's actually past life tests that you can take, write it down, do some work, see things tie in as well. So there's little tests there as well. There's regression theories as well. Regression therapy tests you can take on there as well. There's past life regression therapy little tests, as well as past life regression tests as well. So they're asking you questions where you just type in there with like past life regression therapy, past life regression tests. So there's little tests to be found out there, and there's also past life tests in hypnosis. So again, of that state of mind of how to work with things as well. Thousands of years back as well, this is where a lot of people do connect with spirit and your past lives and your soul, is ancient Greek or ancient Celtics. If you count a lot of Celtic things and you're drawn to that period as well, a lot of Asian people, spirits are Asian, and Indian as well, Indian traditions. So where you have your red chiefs and all that as well. The other one as well, where we touched on dreams. If you have a lot of recurring dreams, these are very, very 9 times out of 10 linked with past lives. Out of place memories. Again, it's all about, I've been there, but I haven't been there, but I know what it looks like, and you haven't even been there. Strong intuition as well. That's a very, very gut intuition with your gut intuition. If it's massively strong, that's linked with past lives as well. The deja vu as well, that will tie in with it as well. Many times I've seen visions and you're just like, oh, I've had this before, been here before. If you're an empath, that is also a sign and a link with past lives, that you've had many past lives. Precognition, future instincts, precognitive, and again pre-visions ahead again in the future. And also you can be retro as well, so you can be retrocognitive, where you're seeing the opposite as well with the past lives. You're seeing the past events as well, and you're seeing them very, very clearly as well. They are massive, massive, massive links with having past lives. Feel older than you are. Now, this just isn't an age thing. This isn't your aches and pains. This is like, if you're 20 and you feel, I'm dead wise, I feel like I'm 50, but your mind feels like you're very older. And we've always said it many, many, many times, that young baby's been here before. You can tell the mannerisms straight away. So that type of thing as well, but people feel older than what they are, but the mindset is, it's just amazing, the connection. You can have a great affinity with certain cultures, the time, the periods, the environment as well. So again, your witches and stuff like that, you're drawn to them time periods as well. We've touched on this, unexplained fears, unexplained phobias. This again is traits and trends with past lives. You feel the earth might not even be your home. You feel that you're drawn to stargazing, but you feel like you've been on this plane for this life. Some energies and entities might not have even lived on this plane. So again, you've got to see the concept that there's more out there. Past lives, there's just so many signs that you've had reincarnation many times, and that's what all that links with as well. And I know we're quite drawn into a close there. I will go through the comments now. Again, any questions, flash them up and ask. Put them up and we'll ask. I enjoy a nice walk around a graveyard and a churchyard. Very thick moustache. And a mark on the side of his head. Should we ask him to show himself a little bit more? Do you want to show yourself, whoever you are? You want to come through? Oh, look, he looks older. Come through a little bit more. Come on. Who are you? Who are you? He's got a beard, hasn't he? He's got a very blue. Not shaved, does he? Okay. He is very strong, yeah. Let's see who it is. I'll ask a question. If it's one of my past lives, do you want to show yourself more? If you are from one of my past lives, do you want to show yourself more? Eyes are going darker underneath, aren't they? I feel like I'm getting this side. There's something here as well. Looks like quite darker. Okay. So my guys just said I look like Papillon. I'm like, cheers, mate. Right, okay. I think he was in the film from Escape from Alcatraz, was it? Down the left arm. See what we've got there. Migraine. Like blood on my face. Yeah, I could feel this side here. I feel there's an impact here. Definitely, Thomas. Right, where are we now? It is amazing. If no one's been to Edinburgh, you need to visit there. It's just mind-blowing. Scar coming down the eye. We'll ask again. See what era. We'll see what era. Okay. We'll ask if it's the Knights Templar. We'll ask if it's the Knights Templar. We'll ask if it's the Knights Templar. Just not there yet. Well, I'm drawn to Hastings as well, Linda, so we'll have to go down there. Actually, Hastings, the Battle of Hastings, it's actually Battle we need to go to. I think it's a town called Battle. So have a little Google of that as well, folks. Battle. All right. So where they say Battle of Hastings, it's actually Battle. Yeah, Scar coming running down by your nose. Reoccurring dreams. Bed. You're tired. How many past lives was given? 28. Again, just go with it, Claire. I could see. Yeah, I could see. All right, I'll do that again. See where we're going, and then we'll leave you to it because I've took up most of your night. Right, let's just see. Let's just see if this fella. Is anybody here now before Anybody here now that's part of my past lives? Show yourself, come forward. Step in. Step right in close. Oh, it does looks like here as well is going right puffed as well, doesn't it? I feel like here as well is all hair features. Right, thank you. Goosebumps straight away. Right, thanks for joining us tonight. Please keep watching the platform. I've got some amazing guests coming on over the weekend. Shadow Chasers show with guest Howard. So that will be one not to miss. Don't miss that Sunday night, 7 o'clock, and the Paddock Exchange again later on, 11 o'clock. And I always find out when I'm just relaxing and unwinding and getting ready for Monday morning, I always end up watching the late show as well. So stay safe, folks, please. It won't be long and we'll be all out and about, and that's what we're doing. Again, your topic, your subject, covered a few over the last few months. Please inbox me and I'll put on my page links with in and around signs that you've had past lives as well. Cheers, Janice, and I will sign off there. So please stay safe. Inbox, put anything onto this link as well that you want to cover over the next few weeks. Be grateful. Thank you for taking your time out to join us tonight. I'm trying to share my experiences. I'm trying to get you to work spiritually and trying to get you to cover the in and around of your own past lives. That's what it's about. If you want to work with me, come forwards. I don't mind. I'll always help. That's what I'm here for. Stay safe. Thank you again for everybody and the moderators out there. Stay safe, stay strong. I will catch you soon.